to my channel. If I'm being completely honest, it's so hard to just record nowadays. Like, I don't have the motivation, I don't have to drive for practically anything. I wish I could come on here and say that I've been like doing shit, but I really haven't been doing anything other than the fact that I've been proactively trying to find a job. Okay, so 5 months ago I made a video on this channel stating that very ill. I was hospitalized a couple times. I ended up being diagnosed with Crohn's disease. I really told myself back then that I was not gonna make a video about Crohn's, like my life with Crohn's, like how I'm feeling, how I am, how it affects me mentally, but I didn't think it would make me even more depressed than I already was before my diagnosis. So I might as well just go ahead and do that for y'all. In mid to late August, I first started having symptoms that I realized wasn't normal for me. Personally, for me, I go to the bathroom like once, twice a day, twice being the max, okay? I'll go to the bathroom 3 times a day. If I've been like a little bit more proactive in my life, I usually go to the bathroom in the mornings. I noticed I was literally getting up super early, like 5 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m. Times I'm not regularly waking up. Like, I don't have no 6 a.m. job to go to. You feel me? Like, I'm waking up mad early to go use the bathroom. You know when you go to the bathroom, everything's okay. Everything's normal. It's your norm, right? I'm going to the bathroom and it's fully just diarrhea. Okay? It's just diarrhea at this point because I'm going to the bathroom multiple times a day. I'm literally sleeping, waking up in my sleep just to go to the bathroom because I don't want to shit myself, right? So that went on for like a good, I would say almost 2 weeks. It went on a good 2 weeks. And I remember searching up like, how, like, is it normal to have diarrhea this long? Like, what the hell is going on? And it wasn't normal. Like, Google was telling me that's not normal, okay? But the thing with me is like, I tend to wait until things have reached a point where I just physically cannot stand it anymore. I'm like, okay, it's time to go to the doctor. Not when things are just getting bad. When they're really bad, that's when I actually start to care for my health. I remember after 2 weeks of just like waking up, going to the bathroom multiple times a day, I would say I was going to the bathroom maybe like 3 to 4 to 5 times a day, which was not normal. At this point, I wasn't really losing any weight. Surprisingly, like I was not losing any weight, even though the fact that I was literally having diarrhea for like almost 2 weeks. I remember telling my mom, like, something's wrong. Like, I need help. And like, when I told her, I'm gonna be honest, like sometimes my mom is really just bipolar. Like, she's not actually bipolar, but like, she be bipolar, you know what I'm saying? I told her this, and I guess she wasn't in the greatest mood when I told her this. She's like, she kind of like put it off on me. She's like, okay, go call the doctor. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, how am I supposed to help you? And I'm like, oh, okay. So I go call the doctor, right? And I'm telling the doctor like what's going on. And keep in mind, there was also another thing happening to me. Like, my feet, like my ankles, one of them were swollen. Like, it was getting a bit difficult to walk. I was kind of just like limping when I got up. If I was sitting down, I'd be limping and shit. And I'm like, this is really not normal. I was telling my doctor this, and then she was not available for as soon as possible as I wanted to see her. She was available like next week type of shit, you feel me? I did not even get a chance to see her because a couple days later, I ended up going to the hospital because it was like my mom finally realized like how bad it actually was. Like, I don't remember the exact timeline. This is still between August to like early September. I remember going to school like the first day and then not being able to go back for like a couple months. I did not start going to school regularly until like early November, December type shit, okay? I ended up getting hospitalized. I don't remember the whole thing. It's kind of like all a blur now because my memory is very bad. But what I do remember is them running a couple of tests. First, they told me like whatever I have is like not caused by like any food poisoning or anything like that, right? We did a colonoscopy, which I'm gonna be honest, prepping for that was the worst thing ever. They gave me this huge gallon of like something that cleans out your insides. Like I was fully like, it was clean in there. It was empty. I was empty. For me, when I drink stuff or eat stuff, I have a, like, I'm a texture person, okay? I don't like stuff that's, if I'm eating meat and it's too chewy, I will literally gag, spit it out. I don't like it. I don't like it. If I'm drinking something that's like thick and it's not meant to be thick, like a smoothie or a milkshake, like if it's water and it's thick, I'm a gag. And what they gave me was basically flavored water, but it was thick. And I had to drink at least the whole thing, or at least like half of it, or leave like a quarter left, something like that. And I'm gonna tell you, that was hard because I was in the hospital doing literally nothing with my life. I couldn't get up and leave my room because they weren't sure of what I had exactly. So it was kind of like I was quarantined. Colonoscopy's done. They let me out the hospital. I don't even know why they let me out the hospital the first time, because it wasn't like I was getting any better or like worse per se. I was still having the problems I was having. So I had to literally wait like, I think it was like a week or two for the colonoscopy results to come in to see if I actually, like, what was wrong with me, because they were pretty sure it had something to do with my stomach, my digestive system, my colon, yada 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 yada. They had prescribed me this medicine that was supposed to help, you know, for like a couple pills. It was a lot of money. And the worst part is I didn't even use all the pills because they did nothing to me. I think like a week or two later, I'm pretty sure it was like over a week, I was still sick. I literally couldn't walk. I was still going to the bathroom like 3-6 times a day, having diarrhea. It was really bad to the point where I couldn't keep any food down. Like I physically did not feel hungry. Like I just didn't want to eat food. I was drinking a lot of Gatorade, a lot of fluids and all that. Barely keeping down any food because it's like I eat something and it instantly goes through me. Like it's gone. You feel me? And I also couldn't like walk properly. Like it was hard. And I also started getting these swollen like lumps on both of my legs, and till this day I don't really know what caused it. Like the doctors called it something, but it wasn't directly linked to my Crohn's. So I probably have an underlying autoimmune condition other than Crohn's that I don't know about and that I was supposed to check up on, but I didn't. Anyway, I eventually ended up going to the hospital again. Keep in mind, by the time I went to the hospital, I still didn't have my colonoscopy result. They had to check my blood pressure. It was really low because I wasn't eating any food. I wasn't drinking anything. Like it was low. They did that thing where they put all those stickers on you and then they're like monitoring you. I don't know what that is, but it's something. While I was literally in the hospital, at this point, I didn't have like a hospital room yet. I was still waiting for a room because I knew I was gonna get admitted. I'm pretty sure they told us I was gonna get admitted. Like I needed to get admitted. That's when I found out that they literally said I had Crohn's disease. Stuff doesn't, like when you tell me something, like it doesn't directly hit me right away. It takes a few moments to settle in, or even down like a month later or down the line, I'm gonna still be thinking about it. I'm still thinking about it. I'm like, damn, I got Crohn's. I had stayed in the hospital for a week or so. They wanted to make sure that my like levels were up. When I did blood work, I really don't know what it's called, but one of my certain levels was like really high, and it's like something that's used to detect like inflammation. It was really high, and like that number is always going to be high for me because I have Crohn's, right? So they were just really trying to get that down to like the norm, I guess. Prescribed me prednisone as something to take. I had to take that for like a good like 2 months, and prednisone worked and everything. Like I was fully fine. They were also giving it to me in the hospital the second time I was there. It also made me eat a lot of food because I wasn't eating a lot before. I had lost like 20 something pounds within like a month I was sick, I guess. I was happy I was losing weight because like I was already trying to lose weight before I was sick. So I'm like, okay, skinny. But taking the prednisone really like messed up my body and how I view it now. I think weight gain was a big side effect that I got from prednisone, which I absolutely hated. I was like, when I stopped taking prednisone, I'm pretty sure I was like close to like 200 pounds at the time, which was like the heaviest, well, back then, the heaviest I had been in my life, which I really hated, and it really like messed with like of how I like viewed my body, because like back then I was really just starting to like appreciate my body more, and like getting sick and gaining weight, losing it, gaining that whole thing was really messing with my mental health. Like this whole thing messed with my mental health, but I think that was a big factor in it. I think it's also because my family wasn't like the greatest at approaching that sort of subject about one's body. It's kind of like you're ridiculed for being bigger. After I stopped taking the prednisone, I got sick again. This time it was a little different. I was actually throwing up a lot of the food that I was eating. I couldn't literally keep anything down. In the mornings, I would literally throw up all the time, even if there's nothing in my system. I had this horrible cough. I don't know where it came from, but like it just made everything worse. I also had diarrhea again. I was going to the bathroom multiple times again. I ended up going to the hospital again, even though I literally did not want to. Like I was really putting it off with my mom, but she's like, nah, I'm gonna take you. I was admitted for a little bit longer this time. I was admitted for like a week and a half. I ended up having this whole bacterial infection and like in my stomach or something. I had to take antibiotics for that, and they put me back on prednisone and some other medicine. I think during like my third hospital visit, it was the worst. Like mental health was at an all-time low, and even after I got home, it was still at an all-time low. And it's like I never told anybody, I never talked about it. Yeah, the whole reason I even got like a bacterial infection, because I was already susceptible to it because of my Crohn's. So they were like, that's probably like why you got what you got. And it's like the bacteria that I got is like, it's literally everywhere. It's very common, but I was very susceptible to it because I had Crohn's, like I said. And it was also contagious as well too. So I was on prednisone for, a month or so. I kept having the same symptoms. I was also on this other medication that was supposed to help, but it wasn't as like good as prednisone. You can't be on prednisone for too long. Like when I was on prednisone, I went to the bathroom like once. Twice was really rare, but it was like once or twice a day. When I started taking the other medication, I noticed that it went up by like 1. So I was going like 2 to 3 times a day, which probably would have progressed worse if I continued taking it, because I could tell it wasn't really doing anything for me. I had talked to my doctor, my GI, which is like the stomach doctor, told me that probably better if I start doing biologics, which is when they intravenously inject the medication in like your veins, your blood. So it's a lot more effective. And then there are 2 kinds. I ended up doing Inflectra, which was the kind that's like less harsh. There's also another one that's more harsh, but I would have done that one if Inflectra wasn't working for me. It took me a while to start biologics because I had to go through my insurance to see if they could cover it. I guess that whole situation was also stressful because it's like, I'm gonna have to take this for a while, and like I've been taking Inflectra for like a couple months now. And it's been great, other than the fact that I have gotten a lot of acne all over my forehead and my chin. It's so funny how it's not getting on my cheek, thank God. I've been getting a lot of acne on my head and chin, which I know can be like hormonal acne sometimes, but like I don't know the exact cause for my acne right now. It could either be my medication or my hormones are just off, because of everything that's going on in my body. But I also gained a ton of weight, and like I don't really know where it came from, because at this point I wasn't really like eating so much food that I would gain so much weight to where I am to now. My last Inflectra appointment, because they weigh you each time you go. So every time I went up on the scale, it was really a reality check because of how big I was. My last inflection appointment, I was like 230 pounds, which was like, that's literally the heaviest I have been in my life ever. It shows. I can see it in my body. I can see that I have gained weight. In terms of my Crohn's and the spots on my legs, they have gone. They're gone. They're pretty much gone. Yeah, Inflectra has been helping a lot. And I like that it's something I don't have to take all the time. It's really something that I'm taking like every month or every 2 months. In terms of my mental health, it's still shit. It's poor. It's always poor. In terms of my body image, I don't feel comfortable in my body. Like, it's almost as if I can be ashamed of it sometimes, but there are moments when I really don't care. It's really on and off for me, but that is my life with Crohn's. I've really been trying to like exercise and eat more healthy, but it's like if I have one thing that's causing me to gain weight and it's also helping me at the same time, I don't really know how to combat it, like fight it off, because it's helping me. And like with the biologic and stuff, there's some people who even go into remission. So I don't know if I'm gonna take it for the longest time ever, but we will see. Thank you guys so much for listening. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. I will talk to you guys later.